When Malia took over the Spiker team, he inherited the old Jordan facilities just outside the gates of the Silverstone circuit in the UK. It's a small setup where 200 employees work day and night behind the glamour of the race circuit so that the drivers have a winning package. And the man who is the link between the factory and the race team is Chief Race Engineer Dominic Harlow. Dominic, welcome to Overdrive. You have two drivers, right? You have Adrian Sutil, you have Antonio Luizzi. Now, both of them, are they of a similar size? Is the car built around one driver or is it built around both the drivers? Because we keep hearing the stories of like a very tall driver being unable to fit into a car. So how is that done?
We have quite a lot of ways in which we can help the driver get comfortable in the car and fit in his car. And we don't have a problem fitting either Adrian or Tonio. As you say, there's a little bit of a difference in height between those drivers, and Adrian's slightly bigger and heavier as well. But because the pedals are adjustable, the steering position is adjustable, the seat is moulded anatomically to the driver himself, we can get them both very comfortable in there, I think.
Okay, so Dominic, why don't we go to where the Formula One car starts off in the design office, and then we'll look at the autoclaves? Absolutely,
okay. If you don't want to follow me, the design office is just upstairs.
Come on, let's carry on.
This is the design office at Force India Formula One in Silverstone. We're producing upwards of 10,000 drawings a year for each car, and the design and manufacture process starts right here in order to get the car made and on the track in time to test in February. And from the design office, the drawings are issued here to our production engineering office, and from here the real process of manufacture and production of the parts starts, which we can see next. We've got here a part of the front wing end plate. This is a composite part that we manufacture here, and essentially the process starts with the composite material on a roll like this in a form that we call pre-preg. It's pre-impregnated carbon fibre. This roll will be trimmed into the various sizes and shapes that are needed to laminate into the mould. The laminate is put together in a specific way as defined by the composite design engineers upstairs. Once that mould is completely laid up with the composite, it might be vacuum bagged there, the bag's evacuated, and then that will be put into the autoclave or the oven for curing. With an autoclave just here, it's basically a high temperature and high pressure vessel where we can put the composite parts in to cure and consolidate the carbon. You're working with pressures up to about 5 atmospheres, temperatures up to about 130, 140 degrees C, and a typical part may take 4 to 6 hours to cure in there.
And this would be working all the time?
That's right. The facilities here work pretty much 24/7.
Once we had a look at the various facilities and understood the production process, we asked Dominic to give us a closer look at this season's hottest talking point, the F-duct. In fact, Force India's system works so well that they now clock amongst the highest top speeds on the race calendar.
So one of the major talking points in the technology in this year's F1 cars has been the switchable rear wing. Some people call it an F-duct. It's a device that we use on our cars. The part I'm holding in my hand here goes in the cockpit. It's something that the driver would use as the duct to control the switching of the rear wing. Obviously it's a little bit dependent on the driver's preferences and how he wishes to use it, and so we make a variety of parts there to enable him to get fully comfortable with it.
So now this is the final station in the build area. This is where everything comes in, right, Dominic?
That's right. These are the race bays. We have 4 here. There were 2 for the race cars and 2 for test cars.
And after every race, the car comes back here, it's stripped down, completely rebuilt.
That's it. I mean, almost every race. Sometimes with the flyaway races or the double headers, the cars will travel directly from event to event. But whenever we can, whenever we're in Europe, for sure, we get the cars back here. and they'll be stripped in one of these bays. The parts will go off to the various departments around the factory, go through all the respective processes, and then come back together as a new car for the next race.
So how many hours would it take to put together a Formula One car from all the individual components?
The first build from all the individual components takes probably about a week, but there'll be several guys working on that. So in terms of man weeks, maybe 10, maybe 500 hours of assembly just for the car. Obviously that's without the engine and the gearbox.
And obviously the engine and gear, the engine comes from Mercedes and the gearbox comes from McLaren.
That's right. So the drivetrain comes to us, engines from Mercedes in Brixworth and the gearbox from McLaren in Woking, and then we'll assemble to that all of our driveline and suspension components and the engine ancillaries and the rest of the car.
How much does the Formula One car cost?
It's difficult to put a value on something like this because they're all so unique, but just in terms of the components going into it, it's upwards of £1 million.
And including all the engineering costs that goes behind the car?
Well, that then becomes more about the budget of the team and obviously is a much, much larger figure.
So a Force India Formula One car would be how much?
Several million.
Several million pounds. Thanks, Dominic. And now we'll head for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be speaking to Force India's drivers, Adrian and Tonio.